Hello and welcome to another episode of Tales from a Professional Nerd. My name is Bryan Steele, and I will be your nerd today and any other day that you choose to watch my silly little show. Which, by the way, I have to say is going to be a short show. I know I say that every time, but this time I mean it. I have got meetings this afternoon. I have got a deadline that is weighing heavily on me. And not a lot of time to do it. You'll also note that the door to my studio is open, and at least one of my dogs is in here, so you might hear some noise, or maybe the occasional little dog head might wander around in the back. That is because I am alone in the house today, and our dogs cannot be trusted not to destroy things if they are not at least partially monitored. So, hence the dog. The possible dog. Okay, so let's kick it off real fast. Like I said, I'm not really gonna have a topic today so much as this is just gonna be a checkup and a let's get ready to rumble preview. So the week in Bryan has been good. It's been a good week. I got to play in the Waking Realms D&D game, where I am a dancing cat monk hero. Most of the session was us planning for the next session. I know that sounds kind of weird, but it's because we just got done dealing with a very big, momentous, overcoming milestone obstacle. And now it was kind of us deciding what we do next. Do we back the queen? Do we go back to the original city we're from? Do we deal with the vampire lord that's hunting one of the player characters? We hadn't really come up with what we were going to do, and so a lot of that decision was us celebrating our victory and planning for the next chapter in our overarching quest. But it was a lot of fun. We had a good time, and then I've been playing a lot of Sea of Thieves, of course, because it's great. I love that game. But also playing a lot of XCOM 2. I forgot how much I love that game. So it is, if you're not aware, it's a video game that is basically an alien invasion game. Was the first game. This game is the aliens have already invaded, and they are going to effectively destroy humanity. You're fighting as the resistance fighters to kick them off, and it's cool. It's not a first-person shooter. It's a turn-based action economy, almost like a digital version of a miniatures game, and it's very, very cool. But my kid plays it, I play it, even my wife plays it, and she's not much of a video gamer. So it's a lot of fun. We're having a good time with it. It's very frustrating at times. It's a little glitchy. It's an older game, but it is still a fan favorite. And it makes me wish that there was more done in this franchise. I would love to see an XCOM 3. If there is one, put it in the comments. I went to go looking for one, and my search came up Bupkis. So. Let's see, what else? I haven't really played anything else. It's just been a lot of work. I'm very heavy into a Power Rangers source book right now, which I can't talk about exactly what it is, but it's super cool. I've got a little bit of D&D dabbling left to do. There's a Kickstarter going on that if we meet a stretch goal, I'll be doing a small scenario for. So that's cool. Hopefully that stretch goal gets hit. I signed on to do some little splash, one-page scenarios for the Dungeon in a Box guys. Haven't heard of them in a while, but they're fantastic and I love them. So I'm going to get to do those. And then, Warzone. In fact, I have a meeting later this week to discuss the status of the lore and stuff in the Warzone book. So, I'm busy. I'm a busy guy, which is why this video's got to be so short. Professionally, I already talked about what I've been working on, but There has also been a big thing that just happened. If you were a pre-orderer, a person who pre-ordered the Power Rangers role-playing game book from Renegade, you would have in the last couple days. Oh, there's one dog. You would have in the last couple days received your email that says, "Hey, come get your free copy of the PDF." Well, obviously, those have been going out, and Facebook is abuzz. I wish that it was more positive buzz, but as it is wont in the internet, the most vocal people are the ones that have found things to complain about. And I'm not gonna sit here and say gamers are wrong for having opinions, things like that. I'm not. I'm saying that if you have a positive opinion, you should also post positives, because there are people like me out there that see these negatives and go, "Oh dear God, is my is my career at risk?" Like, obviously it's not. We're hearing a lot of the same things again and again and again. We're hearing a lot of good things about gameplay, about the system, the actual nuts and bolts of it. They think that that it's a solid system. Where we are hearing complaints, we are hearing that it apparently our decision to not spell out how to create monsters in the main rulebook has caused a lot of people a lot of grief. I don't know exactly why. There's not a how to create monsters in the D&D player's handbook. There's not, there's I don't know. I don't want to turn this into a complain about complaints or being defensive or anything like that. It just seems like there's a lot of people that are very upset that they can't create the monsters yet. In the first 24 hours that they have the preview copy of their book. All I can say is that there are going to be a multitude of monsters. At some point, I'm sure we're probably going to discuss how we come up with the threats and how we come up with the monsters on a video or something, at a panel or something. I'm sure that'll probably come up at some point. And if the bosses, if the powers that be decide to say, "Hey, let's spell out exactly how we create every single monster we make," then we'll have to. That's if the company needs it, that's what we'll do. If one of the other things that people were complaining about, there's a few typos, but again, typos and like one or two cut and paste errors, or rather form fill errors. Again, I don't know if some of the people that are complaining are board gamers, if they're used to things that just simply, you can take the most expensive game book that you've ever seen that was years behind in backtrack and creation and writing and everything, and there's always the possibility that something's gonna slip through. Spell check doesn't catch everything. Editors don't catch everything. You want them to. You hope that they will. Proofreaders sometimes don't catch everything. It is. We are human and we are fallible. Plus, the computer that helps us is also fallible. It happens. To turn that into this game is terrible because of this mistake, it's a little hyperbolic. It's okay. I'm gonna go a little bit on a slight tangent here. It is like when the human brain fixes the things that the human eye sees incorrectly. We know that. We know that there are people that can look at mismatched letters, but they're put in a particular pattern that even though none of those words make any sense, the sentence that is being said, because of how they are structured and because of these 5 letters in a small area in this thing mean this, we, with the context around it, we our brain does that. And for people to basically be like, "Oh my gosh, this one letter got flipped," or this spelling of a made up word didn't get caught by spell check. You know, that to have someone freak out over those things and be like, the game's obviously trash. That's wrong, guys. You know, you could look at it and go, man, I really kind of wish they would have caught these. We wish we would have caught them too. We don't want to give you guys errors. Like there's never there's not an acceptable amount of errors to us. We are all, oh, and apparently one of my cats is here. We are okay, sweetheart. I love you. You're gonna become. Nope, you're gonna go over here. All right, go sit over there. Sorry about that. We like having. We would love a perfect book too. And the reason why these go to print the way they do is because we've looked at them so many times. We had our editors look at them so many times. We've had proofreaders look at them so many times that we had beta testers look at them so many times that we want. We believe that all that stuff must have been caught. And then, of course, the first time it gets shown to a brand new, fresh set of eyes, tens of thousands of them apparently, those other things are caught. And okay, you find them, they're there, that sucks. But when you find them and highlight them, that's actually good for us because it means that we know we can go in and fix it in the print template, in future PDFs. You know, we can fix those things. But also, it points out to us where things may have gone slightly askew in the process. The other issue, the other issue that people were having with the PDF that they're looking at, is really kind of a collective game design thing. And there are times where game designers make a choice for their game engine. And there are some people that will not like these choices, and there are some people who won't care about these choices. So there's some people who think that these choices will be amazing. It's just how it is. For instance, in Dungeons and Dragons, the arguably most popular role-playing game there is on the market, your armor class is how hard it is for you to be hit, for how hard it is for you to be struck and damaged. We know this because it is partially based off of the armor that you wear and your dexterity bonus. Dexterity being your agility and your ability to avoid to move quickly. However, that kind of goes, they've already got to kind of fight against each other. So your dexterity makes you harder to hit, but wearing super huge, thick, heavy armor also makes you harder to hit, even though it's weighing you down and making you slower. You know, there are other games that were D&D derivatives that use, instead of using armor class to avoid hits, or rather than having armor add to your armor class, armor gave you a X number of damage reduction to keep you from being hurt when you were hit. So the lighter the armor, it didn't have as much damage reduction, but made you harder to hit because you were able to stay more mobile than in the big clunky heavy armor, that although it made you easier to hit because you weren't fast, it made you harder to injure because of the thickness of the thing. That was a game design decision. And over the years, people have just sort of gone, okay, it is. They just shrug it off. They're like, okay, this is what armor class is. And nobody has a problem with that. So when you find an issue, or especially in the day of the age of the internet, it's a double-edged sword, because one person points something out and then 50 people go, yeah! And it makes it sound like so much more of a big, huge thing than just one person going, I don't really like that very much. Instead of saying, that's my personal opinion, it becomes, listen to the mob! And that's a problem, in my opinion, when you are first showing your critiques, your opinions, your review of a product, so to speak. That being said, There are a lot of people that are seeing the Power Rangers game for the first time, and they're digging it. You know, we've gotten several messages of people going, "I love this. This is fantastic." The people who have played the game at conventions, or the people who have played the game on live streams on Day of Destiny, they're loving this game. It is. We know that we have made an excellent product. Yes, there are typos. Yes, there are some things that, as time progresses, there will be better versions. There will be fixes to some of these little issues that you're coming up with. I'm not trying to say your opinion is wrong. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have an opinion about this product. I'm saying that it is possible that your opinion is a knee-jerk in the first 36 hours of receiving this PDF, having never played the game, having never watched it been played, having never stepped through things. You're just going, ugh, I don't like it, and this sucks. Give it a try. Let others give it a try. Let's see how the community... Let's see here in a couple of months, once people start playing the game and having a good time, let's see then what happens. I remember when Shadowrun 6th Edition came out, when the 6th World Edition came out, people were livid. They were, oh my god, they were freaking out all over the place about all these little changes, and it's a major overhaul. Rawr. But yet, it's persevered. There are tons of new fans. People have pointed out that the system works the way it's intended. Sometimes with a couple of erratas, arguably. Sometimes you got to point out as a designer, hey, this is a thing. It was worded slightly poorly. We didn't realize that because we were looking at it from a design standpoint. We were hoping some other people would catch it. Sadly, it made it all the way to you before it got caught. But that doesn't mean that that the system doesn't work, the system isn't awesome, and this game isn't going to be fantastic. It's going to be awesome. It is awesome. We know this. It just maybe has a few little issues to some people, and in the era of the chat room, the era of Reddit, there are people that are making a huge deal out of things that are not, for the most, for the grand scale of things, it's gonna get fixed. It's gonna be a relatively minor issue over time. Again, I didn't want to spend a bunch of time being defensive or anything like that. I've got way too much to do for that to happen, and I've got a couple of cool things I want to show you before I let you go today. So I'm not, you know me, I don't like to be negative. I definitely don't like to be the kind of person that is like, ugh, our fans. I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm saying that perhaps they are being a little quick to yell to the heavens, to yell to whoever will answer, because the people who will answer are just going to add to that noise. And the more of that noise that happens, the more people will believe what you're saying and never give things a try. And that's a problem. So if you are a Power Rangers fan, or if you actually just want to take a look at the product, the new Essence 20 system, the PDF is now on sale, and physical books will be in stores and stuff, I think, in like 2 weeks. So super cool. All right, let's go through real quick. Speaking of Power Rangers, this week I picked up the Power Rangers Universe #1. It has got some very cool. They're going back. Voob Studios is going back into kind of going back in time, so to speak, and looking at some pretty momentous occasions in the Morphin Masters and the Morphin Grid history through this series. It's a 6-issue series. I will be getting all of them. I'm very happy with the first one so far. I see something that I think that they're leading into, and it's pretty cool. I hope that I'm right. For multiple reasons, I hope that I'm right. But it's very cool, and I can't wait for the next installment. Let's see, what else? I got a package in the mail that is a I won't say long overdue. It is just something that has been waited on because COVID got in the way, and that is the merch involved with my good friend Rick Antony, Rick Rolls America. So this is kind of a sad story. Rick was not the sad part of the story isn't Rick's. There isn't this part. Rick actually was the what was it the media director? I know he was the main guy over at Game Trade Monthly. He did all their videos. He still does videos. He runs like 30 different TikToks for different companies. And he used to work for Diamond Distribution for a long time. He was kind of a bigwig over there, and he gave all that up for an idea, a very cool idea, a few years ago, and that was Rick Rolls America. And what he was going to do was basically create like a TV show of him going in an RV from one side of the country to the other, just kind of wandering around, finding these various game sites, game stores, like community college or community groups, college clubs, just a lot of really cool stuff, and then basically play a game there, enjoy the atmosphere, give them a plug, and then move on to the next location. It had been basically kind of like a was it drive-ins, diners and dives with Guy Fieri, except it would be game store version with Rick Ankney. Super cool. Well, he got like a bunch of he got some sponsors, he got a bunch of financial backing, which is why we got these cool things for those of us who backed him. But what happened is, like a month into his journey, COVID hit, and stores started closing their doors, and it wasn't safe for him to just go to places. And eventually, it wasn't that it wasn't just safe; it was impossible. He got quarantined in a hotel. Basically, it was like, and now you don't get to leave for 2 weeks. It really did. COVID killed a lot of people, and it also killed his show, which sucks. I was really looking forward to being part of that show when he got into our neck of the woods. Walking him through my local shops. Maybe running a game for him and some of the locals. That would have been so much fun, but it just didn't happen. So he then went into the digital world, like so many people did when it came to COVID. And Rick Rolls America sadly died on the vine. And he had to kind of change his direction, and has come a long way. And now, like I said, he's a media mogul for tons of companies who don't want to run TikToks, who don't want to run their own Twitch services, things like that. Rick takes care of them. And he apparently, in the last couple weeks, gathered up a bunch of the stuff, maybe got access to him again. I don't know what happened, the shipping crisis and all, and got those of us who were backers some of our stuff. So we got a Rick Rolls America little Velcro patch. Very strong Velcro. We have a Rick Rolls America, looks like probably a Series 0. Yep, the Series 0. Rick Rolls America Master Series 0 paintbrush, which is awesome. I love getting brushes that have stories behind them. This little thing, which I love, it's an inspiration die marker that I'm going to put in my dice bag, my travel dice bag. So basically when a bard at the table gives me inspiration, I can remind myself what size of die and that I have it by putting it in this little like die coaster. I like that. It's cute. And then the last thing is easily the coolest thing in this thing, and I'm sure it probably set him back a pretty penny, no pun intended. And that would be the Rick Rolls America challenge coin. So it's got a couple race car flags, and it says Rick Rolls America Community Challenge coin. And then on the back, it's got, and this is like fully embossed. It's a metal coin. It's metal. It says building a positive community one game at a time. And this is why I wanted to. This is honestly the thing I'm going to do, and then afterwards I'll probably be closing out the show for today because I got to get to work. But so challenge coins. I don't know if you know this, but challenge coins were they're a military thing, I believe. I believe they started in the military, and that it was if you had your challenge coin on your person, you could basically put it down, bam, in front of another person that is in that same subculture, community, organization, whatever, that uses the challenge coins. And more often than not, it was originally designed basically to, hey, buy us a drink. Boom. Do you have your challenge coin with you? You know, one of those. It was a sign of kind of camaraderie that if you kept this coin with you and someone slapped down that challenge coin, it was them challenging. Hey, are you upholding the brotherhood? Are you showing what's up? And if you had it on you, like you met their challenge, they'd buy you a drink. And if they didn't, it was your responsibility to basically you would take care of them and go, oh, you got me. I didn't bring it with me, but I'll show you a good time. Here you go. As things have moved forward in the game industry, a lot of people have started using challenge coins. I know Private Press used them for a while as a way to reward certain kind of sects of game playing. And the concept being that you put this coin down and almost as kind of like an ante. You use it to I'm throwing the gauntlet down. I'm going to challenge you to a game. I'm going to challenge you to do this. Do you have your coin with you? Blah ha 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 ha. Mostly just a lot of it's just bragging rights, but it's also a way to basically show camaraderie within the community. And Rick had these coins made. And it really is, and obviously he had it designed around the idea that his backers would challenge each other to play games, creating a better, a stronger game, game structure in a story, that sort of thing. It's a great idea, but this thing where it says on the back, the building a positive community one game at a time. You have heard me go on and on and on and on and on about how. I do this and I want to stay positive and I want to bring some light in people's lives and that I want, my goal is for people to be happier. This, and Rick embodies that to a T. I'm not crying, I'm just itching my eyeball. Rick he has been dealt some hard knocks in his life. He has had to deal with some very ugly things. He was through the military. He came out a very strong, very jovial person on the other side. And it is wonderful to know him as a person and to call him my friend. We have shared many a story together, many a beer, many a actually at GameholeCon we shared a slab, like a 10-pound slab of brisket. Like he's a great person, an amazing person, and if you get an opportunity to follow him on any kind of social media, you absolutely should. If you're on TikTok, you probably follow him and you may not even know it. He sometimes goes by the handle Tabletop Santa. But he is Rick Ankney, and he is really kind of the personification of positivity in gaming. Despite the fact that he has been through it all twice, and especially in recent times, has been handed some pretty sour stuff. He's always smiling. He's a happy guy. He lives to make other people enjoy their games more. And this statement, this building a positive community one game at a time, I think is probably one of the coolest mantras that I could ever like it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing, and it is the way that he lives his life. Yeah, things happen during games sometimes, and you might get grumpy, and you might be sad that you rolled all ones or whatever. But overall, I know that Rick is never going to be. He's never going to walk away and go. I'm never going to walk away from a game after playing with Rick and not say, "Man, I had a good time." Unless, of course, the game is at fault, like it's a bad game, like Monopoly. But I just really, when I got this package in the mail, I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's awesome! Here's the patch, and here's this brush, and this inspiration coaster. That's fantastic!" And then I opened up this coin, and not only is it just like a really well done, like perfectly, like it's the kind of thing you would buy on like on the internet. It's the kind of thing that you would buy from like one of those TV ads, here's a collector's coin. Like this is something that I'm going to keep for a long time. And it is actually engraved with or embossed, as the case may be, with a statement that I firmly believe in. I absolutely believe in it. And I really want to just kind of this episode, be it as short as it is, and I know that I started it off with kind of a grumpness about how people are reacting initially to a preview of a book. But I really just want to say that this statement, this idea, is how I view good gaming. Is good community, people that back each other up, people that try and pull each other up when they're having a bad day, people who try to show someone the silver lining in a situation instead of jumping on their negativity bandwagon. And Rick, if you're listening out there, I'm hoping I'm doing my part. Whether it's making games, playing games, or pitching to these people out, the fine people of YouTube or TikTok, I'm hoping that it is the same for them. I hope that it spreads, and I hope that your message continues to live. I love you, buddy, and all you guys out there, be safe, wear a mask, stay safe, stay indoors if you can. Things are starting to get canceled again because of COVID spreads. Let's just try not to get sick, and let's hopefully get us back to some semblance of normal. I love you all. Happy gaming, and be safe, and as always, get out there, put a smile on your face, and play some games. Bigger episode next week. I'll have a lot more to talk about.